The economy is struggling because of inflation. Inflation is like sitting on the edge of a knife edge for insurance. For the rest of the industry and the prospective customers, it might appear like their wallets are being squeezed to actually subscribe to insurance. To those in, particularly I will speak for life insurance or life and pensions, it has its own advantages when there's some inflation, because normally the central bank responds by increasing interest rates. So the interest rate has increased from, I think it was under 6.5 at the beginning of the year, and from then it has moved on to 10, above 10. So what that means is the central bank is trying to cut down spending on non-essential items, and through making it harder for people to access credit. That away has a positive impact for the people who have bought life insurance, because for policies where people earn bonuses, or in banking they call it interest, they are likely to make it big in that year, because as inflation comes in, their money also grows at a similar pace to beat inflation in future. So that said, it's not always very good for the economy to have high inflation. We believe it's temporary, and the current war that is going on, it's something that is only addressed by change in mindset. The change in mindset in stopping to look at insurance as an expense, but looking at it as a fallback position that everyone must have. And when times are hard, it's not the time to run away from it. It's the time actually to realize that you made the right choice. And we've had enough signals in this country. We can use all the prejudices to debate, but we've had enough instances. 1 year ago, it was almost a given, a matter of life and death, that those people who had health insurance are the ones who could afford to have some treatment when COVID was here. So we are having a war now. There is high inflation. We still have to take children to school in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, 3 years' time. So having life insurance is not just a matter of being fashionable. It is just a way of planning for the inevitable. And it's times like this that bring the relevance out. We as the players, we will continue knocking on your doors to get you to realize this reality and embrace it and get it. If I can speak particularly from insurance, but broadly to all businesses, there's one area that we cannot afford not to take a lesson from, which is risk management. As insurers, we are the epitome of risk management. We go to people and ask them to transfer their risk to us. Organizations transfer your risk to us. Also us, we have to be. We cannot just be preachers, we have to live the gospel. So looking at the 360 degree of risk management is how are we dealing with a day-to-day risk management, and how are we engaging with our stakeholders? How are we working with the regulator? Can we have a roadmap in case we are in trouble? Can we raise more capital? Can we create a framework where we can have more capital raised in a not so expensive way? Like listing on a stock exchange sometimes might be expensive initially, but it helps to boost confidence and create more oversight into the industries. So for us to be able to manage the business beyond generations is we have to let the people outside in. By letting people outside in is making sure we are more disclosing of what we do to the different stakeholders, the customers, the media, the regulator, the government, and our internally, so that people can actually not only appreciate more of our services, but they can pick some of the positive aspects we are doing and also give us feedback on the aspects we need to improve in. But that said, it's not that easy sometimes. Sometimes disasters come from angles that you don't know. Business and economics is not a science. You cannot have a formula that will withstand all conditions. Like, Newton's laws of motion haven't changed since he came up with them. Such things won't survive in the business world because dynamics change. So, investing in research and development for most of these companies is something that is no longer an option. It has to be there so that, risk management function is aided with a lot of this information coming in to anticipate these risks and dealing with them before they come, and they build what we all desire most: continuity, sustainability. That's something that sometimes takes a lot of sacrifice to get, but we can get there. I think as an economy we are headed in the right direction, despite the current challenges, which I think are temporary. We can learn from what has happened in the neighboring countries to improve our corporate governance, and we build the confidence in the market.